You know, everyone's a jackass, so why don't we say it louder? You're so scared to have your beliefs, your ideologies examined that you don't speak to people about them. You sort of cower. I don't want to make the difficult decisions about the world. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna ask yourself, the world's really great. Lots of mechanisms, systems in which to do good and bad things, but we don't do a good job at observing them at the whole. Blessed with the communicative decentralization, but cursed with the sort of issues that come with an incoherent body of arguments and no centralizing factor for the people that desperately need it. Are you a jackass? Probably not. Probably not a complete jackass. That's why more people need to talk, I argue. And we have like a good body of sort of resonating pockets in this decentralized world, but it's to a point where there is not a unifying body which can connect nodes and sort of help people infer what's jack shit crazy. You're so insignificant that you might as well tell someone about it. You might as well tell somebody, you know, I affect so very, very, very little in this world. With how much we choose to silence each other, we fail to see exactly how we can get what we may really want out of each other. So fearful of an angry person, so fearful. I just don't get it. We seemingly subscribe ourselves to such bullshit, and we don't know how to communicate what's a need, what is a solution that you want. What do you fail at when trying to navigate the open internet? And how do you see ways to improve upon it? That's all I ask, because it's all we have. Crypto ideologies are ideologies in hiding, right? The fundamental is we want to believe something, but we can't let someone know that we believe something because of the dependencies of that. Who's going to know who? Whose friendships are cursed because of one's favoring or not? Fuck Donald Trump. What do you think about that? Who's up to bat? You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck is up to bat? Ambiguity is the power. If you don't have certainty about why you're getting upset, what do you do? Find yourself in your most unhappy moments. What are you commonly doing? You're trying to get away from them in your head whichever way you can. You're trying to ground yourself from whatever static hell is ruminating. What I ask is, when you are desperate, what do you do? I don't think it's what I'm doing right now, taking a second to back away and like have a good conversation with myself about the way I feel about the world. No, you're usually not in your happy place. You're usually in a very bad place in which you want to escape, and you try to ground yourself by whatever mechanism that is. Hit your vape, curse at person, or physically, physically break something, right? What I wonder is ambiguity, that desire to get to a safe spot in your mind, is not just when you get cut off on the road. It's not just when someone counters you on an important point. It happens when you are terrified about your fundamental values as well. You are a terrified little dog, because we all are. We are all so horrible at control. And that's exactly why ambiguity is power. When you have a cultural narrative, a zeitgeist of how a thing should be, it's not really how it resonates with the population. It simply could be a prejudice. We know this. This is why this feels so stupid. It feels like I'm communicating the tenets of childhood behavioral alignment, but it seemingly is lost on us. So let's reiterate. Your desire for safety, mixed with the ambiguity of rhetorical dogma, leads you to want to ground yourself, to protect yourself. There's an ambiguity in how big our problems are. There's an ambiguity in how seemingly terrifying it is to solve them. And by God, the people that know how to wield power, wield ambiguity, wield a crypto ideology in which emboldens you in your fear, we found ourselves at a problem. Right? Like just like, this is fucking obvious. Like, this is fucking obvious. And we don't have a mechanism to protect ourselves from this human hacking which is going on. Information is like nutrition, and you need to have a balanced diet. One who is so desperate for answers, for a good bit of protein in their life. Yes, you don't always just eat a carnivore diet. You do need the oils, the dairies, the whatever. I'm a child of the 2000s, so the food pyramid's powerful, right? Maybe. What's basically to say is that your nutritional and informational diets need some more work, because we simply desire that fucking can of Coke. We are addicted to that sweet feeling of solution. We love grounding ourselves. I don't fucking kid when I say that pain sucks. Pain isn't the problem. Pain is a byproduct of you stretching yourself, whether it be your muscles or your brain. And that stretching is not inherently bad. Just like power is not inherently bad. I'm not gonna fucking make cookies in the oven. I'm not gonna abuse dough. I'm gonna fucking grab the bottle of Coke. The easy, addictive feedback loop, which is in parallel to our own inability to control our new diets. I try to ask you, do you meal prep? Well, do you prep what content you're gonna watch? I don't do either, and I sort of suffer and actively become aware of it. If you take a look at the history of your consumption, whether it be your informational or your nutritional diet, odds are you'll learn a lot of shit, okay? Now, I'm not saying like the world is made perfect by proper planning and proper diet, but by God, you struggle less. And sometimes that's all you need to be pushed into that next level of self-sufficiency. Like, if you're being completely honest, think about how many people in your life struggle to just fucking find a meal today. How many people struggle to just find a tangible bit of informational protein for themselves on the daily? How many people are literally forced to nutritionally reach into their digital fucking refrigerator, got a refrigerator over there, and pick out the can of Coke and the bag of processed foods? There's a beautiful ambiguity behind those processed foods, a crypto ideology in and of itself. The fact that you can emulate the great taste of cheese, of sours, of doughs and everything, but underlying it is a nutritional deficit. How does that feel so similar? I love the fucking crazy blonde guy I think his last name's Green. He talks about nutrition and information in such a parallel that it just clicks. But I don't want to be one of these like, bro, you gotta copy what this guy said. No, I'm trying to say like it really, 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 really clicks for me, okay? Like, when do you not know anything about the food that you eat? Why do we love ground beef? Tastes good. Is it made of stuff? Well, I don't need to care what it's made of. It's sort of just whatever. Well, you don't need to care until you start fucking dying, until you start hurting. And so it's a powerful entity. If you are able to hide the details by which people derive answers for their lives, you've built power. I think I've sort of mentioned this, but this is a fucking extremely evolutionarily fit idea. It's an extremely dangerous tenet, the fact that we love things that work, but things that work can hide exactly how they work, and therefore we end up loving things that we don't know how they work. A beautiful story for someone making a product in which they want you to just buy instead. Oh no, I burped. They want you to just buy instead of deliberate. The only thing I've learned going to the places in which are meant to house our most powerful and influential people is that they are not only people they're really not happy with the fact that their apathy has been the product we've been looking for the whole time. Why is it so hard to fight fire with fire? It's not. We're just thinking it is. I see young and old. Ambiguity is the power, the ability to communicate hugely emotionally valid arguments. The fact that there is a terrifying power to the unchecked. That's all it is. It's like the fact something can scale to infinity doesn't mean it's going to happen in real life, but what you will see is it scales and scales and explodes when it's failing. We are being dysregulated to the point of collapse, and which is what does that mean? We are led by someone who has no trusted centralizing body of how to work with the people. Like that's the emotions today.